What's going on, guys? Your boy Gamers Gun here today to go over AEW Fyter Fest. Yeah, I want to say this to start the show off. Thumbs up show. Thumbs up show. Fyter Fest was a thumbs up show. It was not as good as Double or Nothing, but it was a very good show. It was much better than Stomping Ground, in my opinion. Stomping Ground was still a very good show, but I think it's 2-0 AEW as of right now. So there you have that. There's your little your flame in the fire, if you will, for all those of you guys that are trying to say which one's better. In my opinion, right now AEW is 2-0. AEW's got the lead. Pre-show started off hot. I liked it. We went right into business in the pre-show. We got the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, versus SCU, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. Christopher Daniels was not at ringside because he had a match later on in the night against Shima and Private Party. Now, this match went 16 minutes, and this match had me, most of the match, I was sitting there like, wow. I just kept every 2 or 3 minutes I'd be saying wow. And you want to know who was all behind that? It was the guys at Private Party. Mark Quinn looked phenomenal. Mark Quinn was putting on an athletic showcase. Isaiah Cassidy was showing that he could sell for everything. It was a real good showing for Private Party. It made them look like stars. The pre-show, everybody was saying it too. Everybody took notice that Private Party was the stars of the pre-show by far. Those guys definitely made a name for themselves. Now they are mainstream, being on AEW, which is going to be on weekly television on TNT. But now people are starting to realize who Private Party is, if they didn't start to realize it at the last pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, because they weren't really in a tag team match, but these guys really showed you what they could do in a tag team situation. Granted, it was a triple threat tag team match for the winner to go on to All Out for a chance at a first round bye, but Private Party definitely shows you that they are not a joke. They are a legit tag team. They are going to be a staple in the tag team division. Same thing with SCU. SCU obviously is probably the biggest name tag team outside of the top two being the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks, of course. But definitely a very good team in SCU. SoCal Uncensored. Scorpio Sky, love the guy. Frankie Kazarian, he looked phenomenal. He ended up putting them over. It was actually really good to see. But the best friends, they made a star out of themselves too. Obviously, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, their whole gimmick is they are a tag team. They are best friends in real life. All they want to do in the match is get a hug in. And they did end up doing that. They ended up picking up the win. Chucky T looked phenomenal. Trent Beretta looked phenomenal. At the end of the night, everybody was chanting for the best friends, and I was like, wow, they really got themselves over along with Private Party in this match. And that's all you want to see from some relatively unknown to the mainstream. I know them clearly. Private Party being from House of Glory, and then SCU, we all know them. They've been all over Impact, Ring of Honor, and then the best friends clearly. But it was a very fun match to start the show. It put me on a high horse. I was like, what a way to start the show. I wouldn't have minded being on the regular show, but a very, very good start to a very good pay-per-view. Now, the rest of the pre-show, we didn't get too much. We had Ali versus Leva Bates. Leva Bates was with Peter Avalon. I think their gimmick is sort of a take on Raw being trash because the Librarian gimmick is horrible. I do not like the Librarian gimmick whatsoever. Ali won. I thought it was going to be Kylie Ray in this match. I was rooting for Kylie. But Ali ended up being the one in the match. I guess Ali was in the match because she needs a win going on to face Brandy, because that makes sense, actually. You don't want Ali to be relatively unknown when she's facing one of the biggest faces of AEW she's not really... Brandy's a wrestler, but she's more on the corporate side of things, but you would obviously want Ali to look somewhat good going into that match, and people need to know who Ali is if they weren't watching Impact or they just weren't aware of her. Will she bring out the Demon Bunny? I do not know going on, but Allie definitely was playing the kind of like a Kylie Ray role where she was very happy to be there. I don't know if she's going to end up doing that against Brandy or if she is going to have to take out the Demon Bunny to end up beating Brandy Rhodes. Maybe this is a situation where Brandy wins. Allie somehow cheated. Allie finally, after being bullied by Brandy, is going to bring out the Demon Bunny and she is going to conquer Brandy. I do not know, but that would be a decent story to tell for Allie. Next, we have probably the worst match on the card. I mean, it went 9 minutes. I mean, it was fun for what it was, but it really wasn't a wrestling showcase. It was Michael Nakazawa versus Alex Jabali. It was just a gimmick match, hardcore match. A lot of moments in this match were just for a decent little pop. I mean, we had the oil moment with Michael Nakazawa. We had the thong moment where he ended up trying to put the mandible claw onto Alex Jabali. And we even went to a pool at one point. And then Jabali ended up winning after using one of the old-fashioned game controller things. I think you play like Pac-Man on it or something. And then the buttons that go into those. So Alex Jabali ended up using those, but Michael Nakazawa ended up winning as I expected. I did not want Alex Jabali to win. It would kind of look bad for Michael Nakazawa, even though they're kind of hyping him up a little bit. I don't know if he's just going to be a comedy act or if he's going to be a legit mid-card / maybe go into the main event scene. I can't see Michael Nakazawa being the champion, but maybe he can get a title match or two. But Michael Nakazawa, it was a fun match for what it was, but it definitely wasn't the wrestling showcase that you want if you're trying to be a serious promotion. And that's why I was in the pre-show. I mean, you're not going to put that in the main show, especially if it's going to be a lighthearted comedy gimmicked match like it was. Next, this was a match I was very excited for. Shima versus Christopher Daniels. Now, this match, it delivered on all aspects. It only went 9 minutes and 40 seconds. It probably could have went 12 to 13 minutes. I thought the match was going to be very good, and it was. It ended up being very good. Shima got over. Christopher Daniels got over. Christopher Daniels, obviously being part of SCU, a lot of the crowd knows him. Shima, obviously being from OWE, Oriental Wrestling. But Shima ended up getting the victory here. Shima is now coming into the mainstream audience, and he's getting his name around us, and now he's starting to gain the respect from the fans over here in the USA. But Shima, very, very good performance from him. I would really like to see him do a whole lot more in the future. As we know, he has a match coming up. I believe it's against Kenny. It might not be against Kenny. It might be. No, it's not Cody. Yeah, I think it's Kenny. It's one of the Elite. I'm pretty sure it's Kenny. But Shima has a match coming up, big match, against one of the main guys. And you had to have him looking strong going into that match. And clearly, Christopher Daniels is a very credible opponent if you are trying to make somebody look credible. And Shima definitely proved that he's going to be a major force to reckon with here in AEW. Next, we had a match that I liked. Some people said went a little too long. Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki and Nyla Rose. In this match, I think everybody got over Yuka Sakazaki. Very, very energetic, very, very outgoing. Had to enlist some help from Riho to end up taking out Nyla. Nyla basically was booked like a beast for the entire part until the end. But Nyla Rose looked really great in the match. Nyla Rose, even after in the post-game conferences, looked phenomenal. She was like, I don't care if you love me, you hate me, I don't care. But you will remember me. That's that kind of mindset you need in professional wrestling. It doesn't care if you're a heel, it doesn't care if you're a face. You make the best at what it is, and you try to make an impact in somebody's life. You need to have that everlasting impression on them. Nyla Rose is definitely a fun person to watch. In my opinion, some people don't like her. She's much better than Nia Jax, in my opinion, and that some people were like, Nia's better. No, I would take Nyla Rose any day of the week. Nyla Rose is absolutely one of the best women on their roster, in my opinion, outside of Bea Priestley, and maybe you can throw in some others, I guess, like Riho. I mean, outside of, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, but Riho ended up winning this match. Very interesting ending. She ended up rolling up Nyla Rose, which is something I did not expect. I thought if it was going to be one of the two Joshi women, that it was either going to be Riho pinning Yuka or Yuka pinning Riho. But Riho ended up getting the win over Nyla, and it seems as if Riho is going to be a major player in the women's division going forward, which I'm excited for because after Double or Nothing, I was the one vouching for Riho. I was like, Riho's the one that impressed me in that match. Riho's going to be the star. Riho should be the star. Riho's the one that I want to see on my television winning championships. And Kenny Omega, he's worked with Riho before. Apparently he loves what Riho can do. And I'm glad to see that Riho is getting some respect here in AEW. I would love to see what Riho can do against anybody, really. Anybody on the top of the card. You take my money. Britt Baker, Riho, take my money. Take my money. Next match, we have Hangman Page versus Jimmy Havoc versus Jungle Boy and MJF. Jungle Boy clearly coming out with Luchasaurus. Now, this was something that I wanted to touch on because it was in the post-match interviews, and it was Jungle Boy. He was in an interview. It was with Allie, but he was talking about him sitting up on Luchasaurus' shoulders and how he normally lays back when they go through doors and stuff. But MJF, he came out and he took a very long time cutting a promo, and it was longer than Jungle Boy expected or anticipated, and he ended up getting a blood rush, so he had to sit up, and then he sat back down once MJ. But I thought that was a funny thing from Jungle Boy. But MJF clearly comes out, grabs all of the crowd, tells them that they're fat slobs. You can go watch 600 Pound Live. Talks about people's mothers. I mean, it's a great MJF. I mean, what do you want? He's the salt of the earth, man. He's the salt of the earth. And hold on. I got one for you. And he's sponsored by Burberry. I had to throw it on. I like MJF, man. MJF's good. He's good. He's great. I definitely want to see MJF at StarCast. Get him to sign the little scarf. That'd be nice. But in the match, very good match. Got Jungle Boy over. Jungle Boy had the greatest showing out of everybody. Everybody was talking about Jungle Boy after the match. Jungle Boy really got over. He had one spot where I don't even. In his post-match interview, he said he didn't have a name for it, but it was like kind of similar to what Nick and Matt Jackson do, where they bounce off the ropes into like a stunner position. Very similar. Little bit executed differently. Jungle Boy didn't have a name for it, but very, very, very interesting move from Jungle Boy. But Jungle Boy, very over in this match. Jimmy Havoc, I thought he could get a little more over in this match. He kind of was not the guy that really got over here. MJF got over as a heel, clearly. Being MJF, I mean, he's going to take out Adam Page. He got in a little scuffle with Adam Page, setting up something for the future. Definitely some tension between those two guys. And Adam Page ended up winning. What did you expect? He's going against Chris Jericho at All Out. Adam Page needs all the credibility he can build before he takes on one of the most credible wrestlers in the world today in Chris Jericho. So, definitely got to build Adam Page up. Very good wrestler in Adam Page, and I'm glad he ended up winning the match. I thought he would, and I have no issues against that. I just wanted to see Jimmy Havoc do a little bit more than what he did. I mean, I'm a big Jimmy Havoc guy. I like Jimmy Havoc. Kill Havoc, kill. Throwback. Progress. Throwback. I know. Actually, he's the prince of the deathmatch. But Jimmy Havoc, very, very, very fun. Very fun person to watch. I would love to see him in a match against Janelle or Moxley. Just saying. But Adam Page ended up winning the match. Jungle Boy and MJF super over. Jimmy Havoc could have got a little more over, but he did decent. He did his part in the match as well. Next match, we have Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. And fun thing, I don't think they have the name rights to Cody Rhodes. So they said Cody and Brandy Rhodes because they don't have the name rights to Brandy Rhodes. And when I say they, I mean in WWE. So Cody and Brandy Rhodes is now a thing. That got me to chuckle a little. And this was actually a very fun match. I came into it, I said, by the end of this match, everybody in this arena, everybody there, everybody at home is going to know the name of Darby Allin as long as you are watching the show. And I think I was right. I think everybody is going to remember the name Darby Allin. He put on a match with Cody Rhodes that was absolutely phenomenal. Darby Allin got over in so many ways. Darby Allin, he kicked out at one point. He ate a crossroads. He had Cody. Well, he didn't have Cody bleeding. We'll talk about that later. But he had Cody in a very tough situation. Cody ended up putting him in a body bag and trying to beat him up. Darby still kicked out. Fun fact about the body bag: it came out and it said Cody 1-1, implying that Cody was going to be 1-1 after this. But actually, Cody's 1-0-1. But what do you want? Darby Allin, very. I love Darby Allin. He comes out with the great music. I was like, okay, that's fitting. Nice kind of skater punk move. Comes out with a body bag. I'm like, okay. Darby Allin already with the paint. We already know that. He comes out, great look. Comes in, smaller guy than Cody. And people were talking about Darby Allin. He's just one of those adrenaline junkies. He's just gonna do the big spots. He's not a real wrestler. Everybody was still saying that after the show, and I was like, how can you not see what this man just did? He did not. The only spot that Darby Allin did that was hardcore was when he did a trust fall onto the edge of the ring, the hardest part of the ring apron, and that made me cringe a little. I was like, ooh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna leave a stinger. But that was the most hardcore thing Darby Allin did in this match, and I don't even think that's the most of what he can do. But Darby Allin put on a wrestling clinic against Cody Rhodes, one of my favorite. And it went to a time limit draw. You see their faith in Darby Allin. You see it. They're not just going to have a time limit draw for Cody Rhodes, of all people, one of the top guys. That's a sign of respect, showing Darby Allin that, you know what? We're not going to have you eat a loss. We're going to say, you know what? You're one bad guy. You're a bad guy. You survived Cody. You survived what Cody put you through. You survived. You took a beating like a champ. You made it out. You didn't lose. You didn't win, but you didn't lose. You made it out, and it left the door open for another Cody and Darby match in the future, which I'm all for. But Darby Allin got real over in this match, in my opinion. There was a point in this match where people were all chanting Darby. They're like, Darby Allin. And like I said, you guys are going to know the name Darby Allin. Go back to Nyla Rose. Doesn't matter if you love me or hate me, you will remember me. And I hope everybody remembers Darby Allin, because I definitely will. Darby Allin is a phenomenal performer. And I told you guys going in that was the guy that I was going for. That was the guy that I thought was going to be the MVP of the show. I wouldn't say he was the MVP, but you definitely are not going to forget the name Darby Allin, especially after what he did at Fyter Fest. Cody Rhodes ended up winning that match, though. Or, not winning. He ended up tying in that match. Time limit disqual. Or, time limit draw. Cody Rhodes at the match comes up. Everybody's chanting 5 more minutes. Once the match over. They want an overtime. Great. Cody, he's playing into the crowd. Yes, we want it. Shawn Spears comes out. With a chair. It's supposed to be a gimmick chair, right? It's supposed to be a gimmick chair. And I don't even think it was supposed to be a headshot. But Shawn Spears swings the chair at Cody, hits his head, busted open. It looked very bad. Now everybody wants to make fun of it and say, oh, that AEW, they're going to have CTEs. That's all they're going to try to do now. They're going to have CTEs. Be ready for them. First off, I want to point this out. Cody Rhodes is a partial owner of AEW. He is one of the biggest names in their front office. And Cody Rhodes most likely is the one that wanted that spot. And according to Nick and Matt Jackson, they did. The chair was also gimmicked. So that was not supposed to happen. Third off, it hit the side of, like, I'll get up. So it hit with this part of the chair. That's not supposed to happen. My bad. I just pulled my camera down. That is not supposed to happen whatsoever. That is not supposed to happen. It was a botch. I understand it was a botch. But this is not a AEW wants to do that kind of thing. It is a botch. They didn't mean... There's no way that they meant to do that. Not a single way. Yes, they wanted a headshot with a chair that was gimmicked. Meaning it was dented. It wasn't going to hit. It wanted to look fake, but the edge hit. Meaning it's a botch. It's not, oh, I'm going to smack myself in the top of the head. No. No. And then you want to complain saying, this is just the start. They're going to do more of this. No. Have you seen anything similar to that outside of that one spot? No. You haven't. Double or nothing. Did anybody come close to a chair shot to the head or anything to the head? Maybe a botched suplex, but you didn't see people complaining about that. You didn't see people complaining about that. There's a botched suplex tonight. You didn't see people complaining about that. There's botched suplexes all the time on WWE. You never see people complaining about that. That's the only thing that's ever came close to a head injury on their 3 shows, not 2, 3, because I'm counting all in, because it's the same guys outside of Tony Khan, but it has not came close to hitting the head. That was the first time. They've never came close to hitting the head. They've never made that a focal point where they want to go at the head. Never. Never have they done anything like that. It was clearly a botch, and if you do not believe me, then you are completely just out of touch. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you anymore. You are out of touch if you don't realize that was a botch, and I am sorry for that. I really am. I like the match. Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin, time limit draw. Very good match in my opinion. Went 20 minutes. Next, we had the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson versus the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix, Pentagon, and with their special tag team partner, Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid got extremely over in this match. Laredo Kid doing flips. Laredo Kid doing all this fun and fancy stuff. Same thing with Penta and Phoenix. I love Penta and Phoenix more than anybody. These guys they really are fun to watch, especially Phoenix. I mean, I love Penta too. I mean, but Phoenix is real special. I know Penta's better. Don't get me. I'm saying Penta's better, but Phoenix. I don't know what it is about Phoenix. I just love watching him do flips and stuff, and all the moves he can pull off. It was a fun match. There was a point that I don't even know the names. I don't watch Street Fighter, but Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson came out in Street Fighter gear. Kenny Omega came out. He kind of didn't get the memo a little. He was wearing his whole gear. Then he painted the symbol on his back. I think what happened is they didn't really tell Kenny. They're just like, you know what, Kenny? You're going to like our costumes. And Kenny was just like, oh, wow. Y'all taking a page out of my book. Where's the paint? I'm dyeing my hair. I think that's what happened with Kenny. But, very, very fun match for them. This was probably the second best match of the night. The second best. This was the best match on the AEW card. Best match on the AEW card. Yeah, it was. This was a very fun tag team match. Kenny Omega got over as always. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, they're the freaking Young Bucks, man. You can't make those guys not get a reaction. Penta Ray and Laredo Kid, all of them looked phenomenal. I don't think it's possible to put on a Lucha Bros Elite match that's not good. I mean, we've seen it a couple times, but every time you see it, you just fall in love with it all over again, man. Definitely one of the best matches. Definitely the best 6-man tag match I've seen in a long time, but definitely one of my favorite matches coming out of Fyter Fest. And my absolute favorite match coming out of Fyter Fest, Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela. Now, this wasn't on the AEW card because it was unsanctioned, meaning they wanted nothing to do with it, but they did televise it. But Jon Moxley and Joey Janela. Jon Moxley and Joey Janela in a non-sanctioned match. Now, this was fun. This was one that made you cringe. This was one that had a little bit of blood, not too much. This was one that Every time somebody did something, ooh, oh, made you do those weird facial expressions, not knowing how to react. I mean, did that just happen? Did I just see that properly? That looks painful. Those were the kind of reactions you get from this match. There were. This match went around 20 minutes, and Jon Moxley and Janela put on an absolute barn burner. These guys came out. They used steel chairs. They used barbed wire steel chairs. They used plenty of tables. They used the ladder for Janela to jump off onto Moxley. They used barbed wire planks. They had them filled with barbed wire. Moxley and Janela both went through, or they had two of them, but each man went through one. They had thumbtacks, and this was a very brutal part. Oh my god, this made me cringe a lot. I was like, ooh, that hurts. That's what I was like. I was like, ooh, dang. No. They put thumbtacks on the ground. I mean, I'm used to the thumbtacks going in the back, but Moxley, that guy, oh my god, he's sick. He pulls the shoe off of Janela. I'm like, oh no. He makes Janela step on up, and I'm like, oh my god. You know how painful it is when something pokes your foot? I mean, it sucks. Just to like, if you go over like maybe a rock or something, you accidentally step on a rock barefoot, it hurts. It hurts. Imagine it being stabbed into you. Oh my, like Legos. Legos hurt. But that, oh my gosh, that had to hurt. It was bleeding down the foot of freaking Janela. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god, he has to be in so much pain. Those, like, you can deal with them in your arm. You can deal with them in your back. You can deal with them when they're up here a little bit. I mean, it kind of hurts when you hit the face, but you can do it. But the foot, that's not a place that usually gets a lot of pain when you wrestle. Not many people focus on the bottom of the foot, and that kind of looked pretty bad. Yeah, Moxley definitely showed Janela that he's hardcore. He did. I mean, it wasn't anything brutal. I was hoping for fire, honestly. He brought out another table. I was just like, where's the fire? We're seeing fire! Janela's going through the fire! It didn't happen. But I thought there was going to be a little bit of fire. But Moxley, he reestablished himself as one of the best, especially at the deathmatch situations. Janela, very, very, I love Janela more than any. Like, Janela, I love Janela. I have a Janela shirt right over there. I just wanted to say that. I do, actually, but I don't want to go get it. I mean, it'd probably take about 30 seconds, because I have to find it in my closet, which has a lot of shirts in it. But Janela, like I even tweeted this out. I was like, Janela finally made it. Janela is on a major pay-per-view for a major company, and he is in the main event. This guy 3 years ago was a relatively unknown name, jumping off buildings into tables that has barbed wire, fire, thumbtacks, tables, light tubes, whatever you want to say. And he almost freaking died, but the other dude took the majority of the brunt because he jumped with Janela, and the other dude broke his back. Janela almost lost a finger. Said he was never going to wrestle. They told him he was never going to wrestle again. They said he might never have movement in his thumb again, and now he's here. Now he's here. Major show, major company, major main event. One of the top guys in the entire pro wrestling world in Jon Moxley. Janela made it. Joey Janela made it. I can't be happier. I fell in love with Janela at All Out. Or All In, my bad. Especially with that match with Hangman. I love Janela. Ever since then, I was like, Janela is one of my guys. I like Janela. Janela's had some phenomenal matches with a lot of good people. But I think that the Moxley match is probably one of my favorite of Janela's. Definitely a fun match. Definitely fun. Definitely painful looking. Definitely kind of cringy. You don't want to see that. Oh my god, it gives you the little shivers. Has the barbed wire in the back. Oh, Joey Janela looked like he had his ear stuck in the bar. Oh my gosh. But very fun match. Very fun match. Yes, it made me cringe a little because I was like, ooh, that looks bad. But at the end of the day, both of them risked their lives. Both of them put on a phenomenal show. Both of them risked their bodies, and both of them risked their long-term health for our entertainment. And I can't say that I did not enjoy it. It's kind of one of those sadistic things where you love to see somebody in pain. I don't know what it was, but I loved the Moxley Janela match. I did. It was phenomenal. It's what I just want one of those, maybe one or two of those a year, maybe. But I definitely like seeing that style every now and then. And what Moxley and Janela did, 100% behind it. Yes, I understand Jon Moxley is a hardcore guy. Yes, I understand Janela's a hardcore guy. Yes, Havoc is. Yes, Darby is. You have all these great hardcore guys. But I think if you overdo the hardcore stipulation, like you have one of these brutal matches every show, it's going to die out a little. Let's make it a brutal feud. I mean, Moxley and Janela, perfectly fine. I'm 100% okay with that. There was a story to it. Janela finds out Moxley's back. Janela, he idolized Moxley. Moxley was his idol that got him into the deathmatch scene. Janela sees Moxley's back on the indies, and he's like, that's my idol. He does what I do. He did what I do now. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm willing to die in the ring. I'm willing to die in the ring. That's the mentality that I love from professional wrestlers, is I am willing to die in the ring. That shows you his love and his passion for what he does. Joey Janela is absolutely one of the best at what he does. And no, Jim Cornette, he is not a garbage wrestler. He proved it tonight. Yes, it was a hardcore match. But if you haven't seen Janela do an actual wrestling match, you can go watch some of his wrestling matches on the indies. Janela is a legit Jim Cornette. He's legit. That made me mad. I mean, I'm sorry, that made me mad. I had to do a little rant because going into Fyter Fest, I watched his horrible review or preview because my friend was name dropped, well, sort of name dropped in it because he called Jim Cornette out, and I just wanted to see it. Ended up hearing that, I was like, come on, dude. Do you even know anything about wrestling? For being a so-called, oh, I'm the wrestling, I can tell you what's right and wrong. He doesn't even know. He didn't even know who Darby Allin was. And he's a wrestling guy. I could have told you who Darby Allin was, really. He didn't know half these people. He didn't know Riho or Yuka, and they were on the last show, Double or Nothing. You didn't know they're from Joshi? Really? Really? He didn't even know who Alex Bailey was. Really? You don't know who the owner of CEO is? Really? Come on now. I will give him one thing. He did compliment Laredo Kid. That's the only thing he did. But he acted like he had no clue who Private Party was. Like, come on, man. You're a wrestling personality, or at least self-proclaimed, so you might as well know something about the business you are speaking of. Please. That's all I ask. Anyways, hope you guys... I'm sorry for that little rant, but I hope you guys do like the review of Fyter Fest. This is actually one of my favorite reviews I've ever done. I don't think I've been able to rant like this on most of the matches I've done before. But definitely had emotional investment in a lot of these matches. Yes, it was not built on TV, but yes, it was built through the Being the Elite series. If you knew that, then maybe you wouldn't have been so down on the Darby Allin match, talking about there's no backstory to... Yes, there is. Watch Being the Elite. They've been hyping up for 3 weeks now. Come on now. Go watch Being the Elite. If you didn't watch Fyter Fest, go watch it. If you didn't watch AEW, if you're not watching AEW, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you definitely need to tune in. At least, okay. Do me a favor, and at least you can stop after a month, but at least tune in for a month. See if you enjoy it. If you don't, Fine. But give it a month. I guarantee you, you are going to fall in love with All Elite. Guarantee it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Make sure you do like and subscribe. And make sure you guys share this on all social medias. GamersGoon YT on all social medias. So, there you go. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm the salt of the earth.